Dasakam 16 Nara-Narayanan avataram Dakshayagam Daksho virincha tanayo ata manostanujam labdva prasutim ihasho dashachapakanyah Tarme trayodasha dadau pitrushu swadham cha swaham havir bhujisatim girishe tvadamshe murtir hi dharma grihini sushuve bhavantam Narayanam Narasakam Mahitanubhavam Yajjanmani Pramudita Krita Turya Goshaha Pushpotkaran Pravavrushur Nunuvur Suraugaha Pravavrushur Nunuvuhu Suraugaha Pravavrushur Nunusuraugaha Daityam sahasra kavacham kavachaih paritam sahasra vatsara tapas samarabhilabhyai paryaya nirmita tapas samarau bhavantau shishtaika kankatam amum nyahatam salilam anvacharan upadishan api moksha dharmam tvam bratruman Badarikashramam adhyavatsihi Shakro atate shamatapobala nissahatma Divyangana parivritam prachigayamaram Kamo vasanta malaya anila bandhushali Kanta kataksha vishikair vikasad vilasaihi Kamo vasanta malaya anila bandhushali Kanta kataksha vishikair vikasad vilasaihi Vidyan muhurakampam udiksha chatvam Vitastvayata jagade mruduha sabhaja Vityalam Vityalam angaja vasanta suranganavo Manmanasam tvihajushadvam iti bruvanaha Tvam vismayena parita stuvatam athaisham Pradarshayasva paricharaka katarakshihi Sammohanaya milita madanadayaste Tvadhasika parimalai Kilamoham apuhu Sammohanaya milita madanadayaste Tvadhasika parimalai Kilamoham apuhu Dattam tvaya cha jagruhur Trapayaiva sarva Swarvasi garva shamanim Punar urvashim tam Drishtvurvashim tava katham cha nishamya shakraha Paryakulo ajani bhavan mahimavamarshat Evam prashanta ramaniyatara avatarat Evam prashanta ramaniyatara Tvatto adhiko varada Krishna tano swameva Dakshastu dhatur atilalanaya rajondo Natyadrutastvaicha kashtam ashantirasit Yena vyarundasa bhavattanumeva sharvam Yagnev cha vaira pishune swasutham vyamanit Kruddesha mardita makhasatu krutta shirshaha Deva prasadita harad athalabdha jivaha Tvatpurita kratuvarah punarapashantim Sattvam prashantikara pahi marutpuresha Narayana Akila Guru Bhagavan Namaste இதுல 16th தசகத்துல ரெண்டு ஸ்மால் எரர்ஸ் இருக்கு. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்லோகம் நம்பர் 2 பிரவவ்ருஷுர் நுனுவுஹு சுரௌகாஹ. यज्जन्मनि प्रमुदितः कृततूर्यघोषाः पुष्पोत्करान् प्रववृषुर्नुनुवुः सुरौगाः यज्जन्मनि प्रमुदितः कृततूर्यघोषाः पुष्पोत्करान् प्रववृषुर्नुनुवुः सुरौगाः. அடுத்த ஸ்லோகத்திலே லாஸ்ட் வேர்ட். दैत्यं सहस्रकवचं कवचैः परीतं साहस्रवत्सर तपस्समराभिलभ्यैः. அந்த லப்யைஹி அந்த விசர்க்கம் சொன்னதா தெரியல, விசர்க்கம் இருக்கு அந்த. ஓகே, ஸோ தப சமராபிலப்யைஹி அதை மட்டும் நோட் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. ஓகே.
Narayaneeyam, Dasakam 16, explanation of the stories of Nara-Narayana and Dakshayaga. In the earlier chapters, we had described the Lord's role in the creation of the 5 elements, the 5 subtle elements, sense organs, the intelligence, etc. This is known as Sarga. We then go on to the strange world full of animate and inanimate beings which had been created by the 3 basic gunas, the Sattva guna, the Rajas guna and the Tamas guna, which are in varying proportions. This aspect is known as Visarga. Now, we continue the creative activity of Visarga, and in this chapter we describe the Lord's incarnation as the Nara-Narayana and the story of Daksha Prajapati, one amongst the 21 Prajapatis created by Brahma to assist him in his work of creation. The Narayana incarnation is mentioned here. Shloka 1. In this shloka, Daksha is specifically referred to as Brahma's son. To avoid confusion with the other Daksha, who is the son of Prachetas. Prasuti, the daughter of Swayambhu Manu, was the dutiful wife of Daksha Prajapati. 16 daughters were born to them. They were Shraddha, Maitri, Daya, Kshanti, Tushti, Pushti, Kriya, Unnati, Buddhi, Meda, Titiksha, Hri, Murti, Swadha, Swaha and Sati. Daksha gave away in marriage the first 13 daughters to Dharmadeva. Swadha was married to the Pitrus, while Swaha was married to Agni, the fire god. The 16th one was married to Shiva, who is an aspect of the Lord Himself. This 16th one was Sati, also known as Dakshayani. The incarnation of Nara and Narayana through Murti, the wife of Dharmadeva, is described in Shloka 2. Murti was the 13th wife of Dharmadeva. She gave birth to the Lord as the most illustrious son, Narayana, along with Nara, who was an inseparable companion of Narayana. The Devas were extremely happy on this incarnation, and they showered flowers of the Kalpavriksha and other heavenly trees. They also sang hymns in praise of the Lord, and this was accompanied by drums and other musical instruments. In Shloka 3, we are going to explain the Lord's incarnation as Nara-Narayana. The significance of the Nara-Narayana incarnation is described in Shloka 3. Long ago, there was a great demon who was blessed by Brahma with 1,000 coats of what we call the Kavacha. One coat of the Kavacha could be broken by an opponent only if he had completed 1 year of uninterrupted penance and 1 year of uninterrupted fight with him, both simultaneously. Like this, one had to perform 1,000 years of tapas and at the same time fight with him for 1,000 years to cut off all the kavachas, which only then he could be won over. This great asura was known as Sahasra Kavacha, or the one with 1000 kavachas. The Devas were suffering from his oppression and they sought refuge in the Lord. The Lord is kind and affectionate to his devotees. So he divided his body now into two parts so as to do penance and fight simultaneously, and thus he incarnated as Nara and Narayana as said above. Initially, one would do the penance as Nara and engage the demon in a fight as Narayana, and then the tired Narayana would do penance and Nara would do the fighting. In that order, the two of them, Nara and Narayana, alternately did penance and fight and cut off 999 kavachas of the cruel demon in as many number of years. In the end, leaving behind one kavacha on the Sahasra Kavacha Asura, the Lord killed him easily. Now, it is said that this Asura, who was left with one kavacha at the time of the death, was reborn as Karna, and Nara was born as Arjuna, with Narayana, who incarnated as Lord Krishna for his charioteer, and they killed Karna in the great Kurukshetra war. Shloka 4 explains thus. The Lord, in the form of the ancient sage Narayana, dwelt in an area called Badarikashrama along with his twin brother Nara. They both meticulously observed all the spiritual disciplines that led to liberation and imparted these to their disciples, including Sri Narada, who was desirous of knowledge and salvation. Meanwhile, Indra became very jealous of the high degree of self-control and the increased spiritual power. Indra became afraid that the Lord might seize the throne of heaven. Driven by this misplaced doubt and jealousy, Indra commissioned the Lord of Love, Cupid or Manmata, with all his paraphernalia of celestial damsels and other associates to try and break the penance of Narayana. Shloka 6. As ordered by Indra, Manmata arrives in Badarikashrama with all his associates and with the intention of breaking the spiritual pursuit of Nara-Narayana. Manmata, with all his associates, and the spring season, the gentle Malaya breeze from the mountains, which are all conducive to the generation of passion in living beings, and making use of this bewitching celestial damsels, the apsaras, who shine in the abodes of charm, their loveliness, their beauty, and their well-known sidelong glances mixed with amorous play of eyebrows. With all these as arrows, they attacked Nara-Narayana again and again. But then Narayana remained calm, unperturbed, and he was not at all affected by all these attacks. This unnerved Manmata, the god of love, and they got frightened, thinking of the hazards of having overstepped the Almighty. At that time, the Lord said the following to them with a gentle, bewitching smile. Shloka 6. The Lord said, Hey Angaja, Cupid, Hey Vasanta, the spring, Hey Surangana, the celestial damsels, don't be frightened. Come near me and see what I have created as a projection of my mind, that is, by my yogic powers. When Manmata and others came near the Lord and stood around you, singing praises of the Lord in astonishment, he showed them the handmaids of extraordinary beauty that he had created. The Lord said to them, Please accept my sincere hospitality, cast off all fears, and accept this as a special gift from me, a gem in the form of a lady created by my mind with exquisite beauty, not ever having been seen in heaven, and offered by me wholeheartedly to you all. He also said, kindly accept all my hospitalities that I am offering to you all. Shloka 7. It was in order to infatuate the Lord, break his vow that Manmatha and his friends, that is the spring season, the gentle mountain breeze and the apsaras, who are all well known to be well versed in the art of enticing passion in people, they were sent as a team to Badarikashrama. Though they were fully equipped for the job, they failed to excite the mind in spite of their best efforts. On the other hand, they themselves got inebriated by the extraordinary beauty of the maids who the Lord had created as his handmaids. Their loveliness, their charm, and their appearance was sufficient to make the apsaras infatuated. Later, the Lord created Urvashi, who was created by his yogic powers, so that Indra could understand the greatness of the Lord's yogic power, and he would then refrain from actions similar to the ones that he had resorted by sending Cupid and the others to entice Nara-Narayana. In a spirit of humiliation, Cupid and the others accepted Urvashi, whose beauty was such as to destroy the pride of beauty of the Apsaras from heaven. Manmatha and his team, who had come prepared to defeat the Lord and his divine power, were then afflicted by fear. They got infatuated by the beauty of Urvashi. They were humiliated, and in the end they had to return after accepting Urvashi. Shloka 8. On seeing the beauty of Urvashi, who was gifted by the Lord, and on hearing about his power of tapas, the greatness of his magical power, the greatness of his yoga, which Manmatha and others narrated to Indra, Indra now realized the greatness of the Lord. He felt ashamed on account of the fact that his actions had recoiled on himself and ended in results contrary to what he had thought. The very thought of doing wrong to the Lord, whose glory was boundless, generated fear and remorse in Indra. The burning of Manmatha into ashes by Lord Shiva for having tried to distract his penance long ago is a known story. But in the case of Nara-Narayana, instead of causing harm, the Lord had extended sweet words of hospitality to all of them who had come with the intention of defeating the Lord, and he also sent them back safely. Thus, amongst all the incarnations of the Lord, this one, as Nara-Narayana, is extremely soft, serene. It captivates the mind with more wonderful exploits. If asked whether any one of the incarnation is more beautiful and more serene, we can only think of the incarnation of Lord Krishna. However, needless to say that the incarnation of the Lord as Krishna is the greatest and remains unmatched. Thus, after describing the story of the Lord's incarnation as the sons of Murti, Nara-Narayana, one of the daughters of Daksha, the next shloka describes the story of another daughter, Sati, who was the consort of Lord Shiva. Shloka 9. Brahma installs Daksha Prajapati as the head of all Prajapatis. The qualities of Rajasaguna and arrogance started dominating Daksha. The negative qualities of the Rajasaguna, like desire, anger, avarice or lobha, arrogance, pride, envy, jealousy, took a deep root in his heart. He lost his power of discrimination to distinguish between right and wrong. The sattvic qualities of tranquility and self-control became completely absent in Daksha Prajapati. His respect towards the Lord also started diminishing. Tossed between pairs of opposites, his mind lost the power of tranquility, and due to this, he lost esteem of his own father, Brahma. Even towards the Lord, he became impatient and his mind became turbid with jealousy due to diminishing devotion. Because of this, he evinced antagonism to the son-in-law, Lord Shiva. Daksha Prajapati started a sacrifice. All the gods were present at the sacrifice. At the time when Daksha entered the sacrificial hall, all puffed up with pride, all the people except Brahma and Shiva stood up and they paid him his respects. On observing that his son-in-law Lord Shiva did not get up from his seat to show him respect, Daksha became very angry and from then onwards started insulting and antagonizing Lord Shiva. Daksha Prajapati started using cruel words to describe Lord Shiva's appearance, about his dress wearing a deer skin, about snakes being his ornaments, about the fact that he lived in a crematorium, about the fact that he used all the ashes from the dead bodies, his holding of skulls, and it went on and on. The enmity between Daksha Prajapati and Lord Shiva grew day by day. Shiva, however, remained silent all through this. During another great sacrifice that Daksha was to perform, Daksha showed his enmity towards Lord Shiva. He invited all except Shiva for the sacrifice. All the devas started to participate in the great function with their wives. Seeing this, Sati Devi, in spite of being refused permission by her husband Lord Shiva, reached the sacrificial hall all by herself out of great love for her father. But Daksha Prajapati badly insulted her solely because she was the spouse of Lord Shiva, though she was the youngest and the most beloved of all his children. Shloka number 10. Unable to bear the insult from her own father, Sati Devi sat in a yoga position and was immolated by the fire of the yoga. On hearing this, Lord Shiva became extremely angry, and in his anger he created Veerabhadra out of one of his matted locks. Veerabhadra was created by the partial power of Shiva. He proceeded to the sacrificial hall with innumerable ganas and pramatas and destroyed the entire arrangement. Not only satisfied with this, Veerabhadra then beheaded Daksha and threw the head as an offering into the sacrificial fire. Brahma and the other gods now were very upset, and they went to the divine presence of Lord Shiva, praised him with hymns, prostrated before him, and worshipped him. Lord Shiva placed a goat's head on the trunk of Daksha and brought him back to life. Now Daksha Prajapati realized his mistake, and after permission from Lord Shiva, he resumed the sacrifice. Now the Mahavishnu presented himself there and helped to complete the sacrifice without any difficulties. After the revival to life by Lord Shiva, Daksha Prajapati became free from all the bad effects of Rajasaguna. He developed a peace of mind and self-control. He further gained devotion, discrimination and knowledge. Now, our prayer to the Guru Ayur Appan is that you were instrumental in helping Daksha to achieve all this, that is, control of mind, peace of mind, devotion, discrimination and knowledge. Now, you have to help me to destroy all my difficulties, both internal and external, is our prayer to the Lord.